Hello everyone, I'm Swagatika Panda, working as a science educator in Gajera International School, Katargam. So today here we will discuss about why do we fall ill, that means about our general health. So before going to the topic, let's talk about our general health and what is its significance. So first how we can define health. Health is not only about only disease free or about regarding the disease in physical state, it's a combination of whole physical, mental and social well-being. So what are the conditions that are necessity for good health? How we can maintain our good health? So first important thing is our good physical and social environment. That means it includes our clean surrounding, hygiene surroundings, good sanitation, proper garbage disposal and clean drinking water. In that manner we can check it for the physical awareness. Second one is your good economic condition. That means it includes job opportunities for all for earning, to have nutrition food and to lead healthy life, so that we can afford whatever the requirements, basic requirements for a general health. Third important thing is our social equality and harmony. So at the end, after physical and our social well-being, we also require mental peace. So social equality and harmony are also necessary for a healthy and peaceful life. So all these things combinedly make our health or make us healthy. So now coming to healthy and disease free, how we can difference between. Generally people used to know if one person is having no disease in his or her body, then we called him or her as a healthy person. But in science there is a huge difference between healthy and being disease free person. How? Yes, first come to healthy person. If we are talking about healthy persons, that means it combinedly, it's a state of physical, mental as well as social well-being. But in case of disease free, it only talks about the physical fitness. If you are, that means one person is absent from any of the disease, if he or she is physically fit, then only we can say disease free, but not healthy, right? So second point is our, it refers in case of healthy, it refers to the individual physical and social environment. That means to being healthy, we require three of the necessity or requirements, that means individual, physical as well as social environment. Combinedly it makes a healthy person. But in case of a disease free person, it only refers to the individual, that means that person. Then third point is our, the individual has good health. If one person is healthy, that means obviously that person is having a good health. But in case of disease free person, the individual may or may not have a good health. That means maybe physically he is fit, but in case of mental and social well-being, it can be lacked. Okay, so these are the basic difference between healthy and being disease free. Next one is our, what does a disease look like? How we can recognize that we are suffering from any of the disease? So okay, first, anytime, however, if a person is affected by any disease, either the normal functioning or the appearance of one or more symptoms, firstly what happens in our body always gives the sign. If we are suffering from any of the disease, our body gives alarming call through the signs that are known as symptoms. Okay, so how, for example, if we are suffering from any bacterial or viral infection, so first thing you will notice that either headache or body temperature rises. From that signs we used to know that something is wrong there in our body. Then after that we used to go to the doctor, right? So doctor used to conduct the test. Doctor used to first collect the data regarding the signs and symptoms that you are suffering or you are experiencing. After that, he or she used to conduct a different test to confirm the disease. Okay, so on the basis of time period the disease exists in our body, we have categorized disease into two different types. One is our acute disease, another one is our chronic disease. What is acute disease? For example, suppose if we are having cold, cough, typhoid or any of the viral infection, it will hardly take 1 week or more than 1 week, that means 2 week, 3 week to recover, right? We will require 2 to 3 week maximum. But in case of, for example, diabetes, thyroid, arthritis, cancer, in all these disease we require more time to heal or to more time to recover, right? So on the basis of time period of the disease that exists in our body or that takes time to recover, we have categorized two types. One is acute. So examples already we have known. So how we can define acute disease? This disease which lasts only for a very short period of time and does not have long term effect on health. That means acute disease will not affect your general health. Suppose for example, if you are suffering from cough or cold, you will not gain or lose your weight for that, right? But in case of diabetes or in case of any chronic disease, it will directly affect your general health. Either you will put on your weight, or in case of that means if you will talk about hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, in both the cases either you will lose the weight or you will gain. That means directly or indirectly it is affecting your general health. So in case of chronic disease, this disease which lasts for a very long time and has long term effect, drastic effect on our health, that are known as chronic disease. For example, diabetes, tuberculosis, etc. Then next one is your, on the basis of infection, we have categorized disease into two types. One is our infectious disease or communicable disease, and another one is our non-infectious disease or non-communicable disease. So how we can define infectious disease? So the term itself says that infectious disease means which can be infected from a infected person to a healthy person through any mode, that can be air, water, food or any vectors. Vectors, that means by the help of any organism, that means insects, right? Then physical contact or sexual contact. For example, common cold, chicken pox, all these we can say these are infectious disease that can be infected or that can be spread from an infected person to a healthy person. Now coming to the non-infectious disease or non-communicable disease. Similarly, the term itself says it doesn't spread or it cannot be infect from an infected person to a healthy person. For example, your beriberi, rickets, scurvy, night blindness, diabetes, like this, etc. So this infectious disease and non-infectious disease, acute disease, chronic disease, all these are types of disease on the basis of their existence. Now coming to the cause of disease, why this disease caused, right? So disease are basically caused by the pathogens like virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoans, worms, right? And another point we can include poor health or undernourishment, that means malnutrition. Third point is our malfunctioning of body parts. That means it's the internal cause, that if any of our body part or organ don't function as that means normally, then we can say malfunctioning of body parts. This is the internal reason. Then environmental pollution, right? This can be the external reason for causing of any disease. Now genetic disorder, this is also one of the internal reason for the cause of disease. That means if any disease you are carrying from that means it is carried out by hereditary or you have carried out from your parental generation, it has came to the offspring generation, we can say it is genetic disorder, right? Now coming to the next topic, that is our infectious disease. Let's discuss more about infectious disease, how it spreads. Okay, so we know till now we know that infectious disease means it spread from an infected person to a healthy person through various modes. It can be air, water, food, vector, etc. So for example, if any infectious disease is producing, that means it is spreading through air. What can be the example for it? Like common cold, tuberculosis. Now the pandemic is going on, you can take the corona example also. Then second one is through water, so that means cholera. Okay, then through vectors. Vectors means already I have told, if they are being carried out by any of the insects like mosquitoes. Malaria, one of the known disease which carried out by the mosquitoes. Then next, if we will go to through sexual contact, for example AIDS. Okay, AIDS virus can also spread through blood. It is only not by means sexual contact AIDS can be spread, it can also be spread through blood transfusion from the infected person or from the infected mother to the child during pregnancy or during the breastfeed, right? Next, coming to the next topic, that is our organ specific and tissue specific. That means whenever one pathogen used to enter our body, what they used to do exactly, they used to target one specific organ or part of our body, right? So different organs or tissues became the part of became the target organ for that particular pathogen. So for example, microbes which enter through the nose are likely to go to the lungs. Now it's a very common example, you can see we are wearing that means mask for the corona disease, right? So in case of corona, the virus directly attacking to the lungs because the path is our nose. So whenever the virus will enter through our nose, it will go through the lungs, and lungs will be the target organ for that virus. And in case of tuberculosis also, the bacteria which is responsible for the tuberculosis disease, they also affect the lungs, right? So that became the target organ for them. Then second one is our microbes which enter through the mouth are likely to stay in the gut, right? For example, if it is entering from mouth, it will directly go through the food pipe to the gut, so that they can affect that area. Then next, virus which cause AIDS enter the body through the sexual organs during sexual contact and spread through the lymph to all parts of the body and damage the immune system basically. So that means it's a tissue specific. Virus which cause Japanese encephalitis or brain fever, we can say, enters the body through mosquito bite and goes and infect the brain. That means it's a organ specific, where the pathogens are making the target organ, that is called organ specific, and where they are directly causing the tissues damage, that is called tissue specific. Now next topic is our principle of treatment. So now till this point we have discussed about the various type of disease, that means what are the causes of disease. So now the cause is that how we can prevent them, or how we can treat the disease. So the treatment of infectious disease consists of two steps. They are to reduce the effect of the disease and to kill the microbes which cause the disease. So in the two ways we can only treat the infectious disease. So first step is or first method we can say, to reduce the effect of disease. That means, for example, in any of the infectious disease, if you are suffering from, and the symptoms or signs are maybe headache or maybe high temperature, fever, so first whatever the doctor will prescribe you the medicines to reduce that effects or that symptoms, so that you can feel good after that, and by taking bed rest also to conserve your energy and to fight with that pathogens, so that your immune system can utilize that energy to fight against that particular microbes, right? Then second one is here to kill the microbes, and another, in some other cases what we used to do is that this can be done by taking suitable antibiotics. So in case of viral fevers or viral infections, we cannot kill the microbe directly, right? So for this reason only we are fighting with the corona pandemic from last 2 years, because there is no specific medicine for that, though which we can kill the microbe. So in that case only we can reduce the effect of the disease. That means whatever the sufferings, for example your headaches, your sore throat, your temperature rising, all this can be reduced. That is the treatment for that viral infection specifically. But in another cases where the pathogens are maybe bacteria or any fungus, in that case we can give the suitable antibiotics and drugs which kills the microbes and the disease is cured. So here a question may rise that why this, that means in case of virus we cannot give any specific medicine, but in case of other microbes we can directly provide antibiotics. Yes, yes. What is the reason for that? Because in other microbes the pathway is different, and in case of virus the life cycle or pathway is different from another bacteria or microbes. That's why the antibiotic work against only the bacteria or fungus or any other microbes, but not in case of viruses. Okay, later we will do more about it, discuss more about it. Then next one is principle of prevention. So as we all know that prevention is better than cure, right? It's better not to fall in ill after, if as compared to do the treatment. So these are two ways of prevention of infectious disease: general ways and specific ways. What are general ways of prevention? Yes, public hygiene is most important for prevention of any infectious disease. Proper and sufficient food for making our immune system good, or that means we can fight with the antigens, or we can prepare our antibodies against that particular antigens. Then next one is specific ways of prevention. In specific ways of prevention infectious disease, immunization means vaccination. For example, suppose if we are taking vaccine of particular disease, our body's immune system makes the antibodies against that particular antigens that we are taking through the vaccines. What are vaccines? Vaccines are the weak or poor, weak or dead microbes that directly we are entering our body, so that our body's immune system can recognize that virus or that whatever the bacteria or microbes, and can prepare the antibodies against it. Okay, so this way we can also prevent spreading of any disease, or that means we can also make ourselves healthy. Okay, thank you.